Alright, we are gonna have a look at how to sharpen a three blade. And one of the challenge issues with a three blade is, if you see it from the back, like you have the ferrule, you're looking at it this way. You have the ferrule and you have the blades out, something like this. And the angle on each edge here is gonna be 60 degrees. That's 30 degrees here and here, which is a much fatter edge than if you have a two blade. There you can do like a 20-20 or 25-25, whatever you want. So the angle on a three blade is much fatter, and it's not as effective at cutting really. So that's one of the issues. What you can do is, when you sharpen the three blade, now you're seeing the blade from the side. So there's a blade here and here and here. So when you're sharpening the three blades, if you make it smooth like you would with a razor knife or maybe even a good hunting knife, it's not gonna cut that well because of this angle. But if you give it small serrations, it's gonna cut really well. And you want these small serrations to go like this, not like, let me see if I can do it, not like this. Can you see the difference? If you cut, so the tip is gonna go this way into the medium. If the serrations go forward, you're gonna have a small, like a small, what do you call it? Like a small sawing effect, or like a waved edge on a knife. This is gonna cut really well. If the serrations go backwards, it's not gonna cut that well. And it's not gonna cut well if it goes sideways, and it's not gonna cut well if it's all smooth. So we want small serrations going forward. And one more thing with all kind of broadheads, you want the very tip, you want the tip to be stable. So if a broadhead is long and lean, where can we do it? Let's do it here. Like this. It could be a two blade, it could be a three blade, it doesn't matter. If it's long and lean, this very tip, when you hit a shoulder blade, there's a risk it's gonna bend like this, and this will stop your penetration. What you wanna do is make what we call a tanto tip. So you actually wanna cut out, take off the very pointed tip and just make it a much fatter tip like this. You'd still want it pointy at the end, but much fatter. I can show you on these broadheads in a minute. So let's do a broadhead from zero, from the factory. Make tiny, very tiny serrations, make it sharp so it can cut, and take off the tip. Let's look down here. All right, so here we have a couple of three blades. That's a VPA, and we have a Montic right here. So let's look at the one important factor first. This one is right out of the box, and it's not, do not hunt with it right out of the box. As you can see, it's not gonna cut my skin. And this is the best measure for if a broadhead is hunting ready, in my opinion. You can cut hair and stuff, but if it doesn't cut skin, it's not gonna cut the very tough vessels around the heart, and that's what you want. So don't hunt with it right off the box, no matter what the company says. So you're starting with making the little tanto tip. You can see this is a pointed tip, and the longer the blade gets, the more pointed it gets. This long blade already have a little tanto tip. I think it's actually from the factory, and that's a good thing. That's what you want. And the way you make it is like this. You're starting with this. So just lay it flat, raise it a bit, and do like this. Turn around, lay it flat, raise it a bit, and do like this. Lay it flat, raise it a bit, and then just a little touch up. On these short broadheads, it doesn't have to be much. Okay, let's zoom in and see what we made. We're just taking up off the very tip. And you can easily take more off than this if you want to. I think we're actually going to take more off, because we are also going to remove some material in a short while. Just to make a point here. Okay, let's zoom in again. Okay, this is good. So now we have to sharpen it, and it's very, very simple. You can use any file that is wider than your broadhead. I like these rough auto files that you're actually using to do some stuff on cars. I don't know what exactly. I think it's, I cannot use the English words, but whatever. The rougher the file, the better actually, because you get these little serrations. Do not use like a very fine stone or something like that. You will not get this serration effect. So what you want to do now, you want to file it this way. Not like this, because then your serrations is going to go sideways or even over here backwards. So you want to lay it like this. And then you want to start with putting both blades down, so you're not by accident putting one of your edges down on the file. Both blades down, laying it flat, and just dragging it here. And this is right from the factory, so you're gonna have to start with removing some material. And you can see now easily the material is removed all places. If you feel it's hard to see, you can just use a marker like this and then file it afterwards to see if you moved all the blue material, all the blue marker. And it's okay to use a little bit of pressure here in the beginning. You can see we almost removed all the marker. Let's see, what side are we missing? This one. You will also see a little burr coming up right here. And that means as soon as you see the burr, then you are all the way out to the edge, really. We're lacking a little bit here. Let's see. I'm just going to do one stroke on each side with the same pressure. And now we're actually having a burr all the way around. Then I'm going to move to lighter strokes because now we just want to take off the burr. And when you use lighter strokes, you just keep flipping that burr back and forth, so it's going to break off, but you're not making a new burr, and that's what you want to do. And then we should see that you're easily cutting into, let's see if we can get this on video. You don't really want to put too much pressure because it's easily cutting into your skin. And your finger skin right out here is tough, just like, as I said, the sinew and the vessels around your heart. So now it's hunting ready, and you can feel when you move your finger this way, it's cutting. When you move your finger this way, because it's sharp, it's still cutting, but not with the same effect. So if you want to test for yourself, you can easily see cutting this way, not cutting this way. And that's actually as simple as this to sharpen a 3-blade broadhead. It's not going to be as sharp as a 2-blade. It's just not possible with the 60-degree angle, but this is a fine hunting edge. It works really well if you put those small serrations on it. All right.